and as someone who is neither a Laker backer nor hater, I mean, I sit down to watch excellence when I watch sports. Kobe Bryant has met that level of expectation as much, if not more often, than any other player over the last 20 years. You know, Kobe is one of the all-time greats. Do you want to measure him directly against Michael Jordan to belittle him? You go right ahead. You know, how about this? In order to prove Kobe Bryant isn't the greatest, you have to bring in the greatest of all time. That's how on the edge of best ever Kobe's entire career has been. What more could you possibly want from this guy? The significant injury worthy of discussion and all the focus that it got. Although the hashtag pray for Kobe. I mean, it gets a little ridiculous. While I was watching that game, it was obvious Kobe Bryant was ailing. Well, excuse me, when I was watching the highlights of that game, and while I was watching Twitter, I didn't get to see it in real time because I was in my sister's house in Florida. She does not have the NBA package. Anyways, I'm watching Twitter, I'm watching the box score, I'm watching the game cast, and then when it's all said and done, I get to watch the highlights. There were 3 significant moments of pain for Kobe Bryant in that game. He did not check out of that game, even though he was dealing with significant moments of injury concern. A lot of people want to say, well, Mike D'Antoni's not at fault for this because he's just trying to get his team into the playoffs. So let me tell you something. Mike D'Antoni is absolutely 100% negligent and should be fired based on Kobe's minutes in the month of April alone. Kobe's workload was 17% higher than any 30-year-old or older in the NBA. Kobe has never logged this many minutes during a regular season, and he's 34 years old, turning 35 in August. He's 34 years old and logging the biggest minute workload of his entire career. And people would say, well, Damon, you can't get a superstar off the court. You can't get an ego that big to sit down in these crunch moments. You cannot do it. Poppycock. How about that? I'm going pop. I sound like my grandmother. Poppycock. Let's see. What was Phil Jackson best at? Oh, that's right. Managing huge egos and getting them to buy into the concept of team. That's what Phil Jackson did. Mike D'Antoni was the wrong coach from the Lakers based on how he coached big men. Wrong coach for the Lakers based on the fact he runs an outside-in type of offense, not an inside-out type of an offense. He was the wrong coach for the Lakers when he mishandled and crashed the Lamborghini that is Kobe Bryant. Of 240 available court minutes for the Lakers in the month of April alone, in 240 minutes of court time for the Lakers, Kobe had played 230 minutes. That's just in April. People want to make fun of Greg Popovich and call him to the mat for resting his stars. Oh, what about everyone who bought tickets last night and was hoping to see blah, 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 blah. Greg Popovich's mantra is screw everyone that's not a San Antonio Spur. Not a Spur, your opinion doesn't matter. Now we understand why Greg Popovich is the best and the smartest and the brightest out there. He understands how to run a team. He understands how to deal with players that are getting long in the tooth, and that's why you saw Tim Duncan sent home. Manu Ginobili sent home at particular times throughout the year. Mike D'Antoni's negligence of leaving Kobe out there, not only for the huge workload, but in the game where he's giving you every single conceivable sign that he cannot get off the court, or he has to be helped up. I mean, he was grabbing his ankle, he was grabbing his Achilles, he was grabbing his knee. I mean, how many more lower extremity body parts does Kobe need to grab before you sit him down for a little bit? You know, maybe if he had gone for the Bozak, look it up, kids, D'Antoni would have gotten it. You know, of course Kobe doesn't want to come out voluntarily. That's why you're the coach and he's the player. The player, much like a hungry dog over too much food, doesn't know how to stop eating. As the owner, you take the food away before the dog actually overeats. And that's what it's like for Kobe on the court. You can't take you're going to have to take the basketball away from him. You know, left to his own recognizance, of course Kobe Bryant will die on the court. It's how he's wired. It's why he's one of the greatest of all time. Mike D'Antoni, 100% negligent, should be fired. Shouldn't even be allowed to coach this team in, and I don't want to hear, a couple weeks ago you were saying that he was a warrior and Kobe Bryant's a warrior, and now after the fact he gets hurt and said, no. There was enough evidence in that game to say, hey, sit your boy down. Sit your boy down. Didn't happen. D'Antoni's a terrible coach for that team, period, end of story.